You see these blocks?
It means May is almost over. In fact, by the time you're watching this, May probably is over. So today, I want to tell you about every movie I watched in the month of May. We're going to go over all the stinkers, we're going to go over all the bangers, and hopefully, just maybe, you can find something to put in your watch list. Up first, I watched Thunderbolts, and I'm not going to lie, leaving the theater when watching this, I was pumped. I was like, guys, Marvel is finally building back towards something again. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I thought it was a good team-up movie. I think all of the criticism is wrong, every last bit of it. I think this handles the subject matter very seriously, and I would give it a TCAS rating. Again, for those of you who are new, let's sit down real quick. I'm going to explain what the heck TCAS means. No, I didn't just cuss at you. TCAS stands for Technique, Cinematography, Audio, and Story. This is basically the technical aspect of the film, right? This is like how the film was made, things like that. And then you also have my entertainment enjoyment rating, which is literally how much did I enjoy it? Like, the entertainment enjoyment rating excludes plot holes. It is literally just, did I have fun time watching? So, with that being said, my TCAS rating for Thunderbolts would be an 8 out of 10. My entertainment enjoyment rating was a 9 out of 10. And my final rating for the film was 8.5 out of 10. Then, I rewatched Sinners. And I'm not gonna lie, there were these two ladies sitting behind me the entire movie that I swear, they wouldn't stop talking, but I was perfectly fine with it because they were talking about the movie, at least. And so, they were constantly going, oh, see, she is a vampire because she asked if she could be let in. So she is, it was just things like that really, really make the movie-going experience special. It was very funny to hear them talk about that and get the crap jump scared out of them by the snake jump scare. So I thought that was really funny, obviously. I'd give this a TCAS rating of 9 out of 10. I'd give this an entertainment enjoyment rating of 8 out of 10. I would give this a final rating of 9 out of 10. Then I watched The Lost Medallion, The Adventures of Billy Stone. And I remember watching this as a kid, and that should sum it up. I remember watching this as a kid. That's a fair, enjoyment of the film. It got a TCAS rating of 2 out of 10. It got an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10 because I watched it with people I enjoy being around. And I would give it a final rating of 5 out of 10. Then I watched Dream Scenario. And this had some interesting things to say, but not that much. And it felt undercut by the kind of art house feel that they were going for, which isn't necessarily bad. It kind of works in the film's favor. But I didn't love the movie. I kind of wish it would have explored a little bit more into the world of, okay, what literally causes this, whereas I feel like it didn't do that quite as much as I would have liked. It's an interesting look at, like, cancel culture, but it could have been a bit more profound if it wasn't quite so inconclusive with its ending. And so I'd give it a TCAS rating of 7 out of 10, because it was very, competently made, competently edited and whatnot. But I would give it an entertainment rating of 3 out of 10, just because I really didn't like that they didn't really explain what was happening, and I would have preferred, have at least some understanding as to why this random dude is killing people in their dreams. Just being there in dreams as well is a bit odd, and I would have loved some clarification on that. Final rating 5 out of 10 if I didn't say that already. Next up, I watched Megamind, and this holds up. This was a fun time, what can I say? I'd give it a TCAS rating of 7.5 out of 10. I'd give it an entertainment rating of 8 out of 10. And I'd give it a final rating of 8 out of 10. It's a very fun time. Very, very fun superhero film. Very fun kids. I didn't remember how, mostly kid-friendly the movie is. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that there's a superhero movie that does explore some, you know, kind of mature themes in a kid's movie, and that does so while also being accessible for the kids. I really appreciate that. Then, for the first time ever, I finished Inception. And I say finished because I have now twice tried to watch this in previous years. I tried to watch it about 5 years ago, and it confused me, and so I stopped. And I tried to watch it 2 years ago, and I, like, had to go somewhere, so I got about 45 minutes in, and I just never finished the thing. And so this time, I watched it from start to finish, one sitting. I thought it was great. I thought it was a really fun time. I thought it was very interesting and good. I don't know what else to say about it. Let's go into the ratings. Good old TCAS rating of 9 out of 10. Entertainment enjoyment rating of 8 out of 10. And I would give it a final rating of 8 out of 10. Then I watched Mission Impossible Rogue Nation for my Mission Impossible video that's coming out later this week. Later this week? Yeah, later this week. And I enjoyed it. It was a good by-the-books Mission Impossible movie. Had a good villain. Had a good story. I liked it. It was good. Nothing super special, but I liked it. It was good. I give it a TCAS rating of 7 out of 10. I give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 8 out of 10. And I give it a final rating of 7.5 out of 10. Then I rewatched Thunderbolts, and the ratings are the same, so I'm not gonna go over them again. Like, my opinion didn't change of the movie at all. I noticed more during this on a rewatch. I did pick up on a couple more moments where I was like, oh, that doesn't really make the most sense. Like, I would say that the TCAS rating probably dropped a little bit, but for the sake that I really enjoyed it, I'm not going to change the ratings. I'm just going to leave the ratings the same as before. So an overall final rating, I think the earlier one was 8.5. I'm still giving it an 8.5. Then I watched Creed, and this is just a really, really great sports film. This is just really entertaining. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was very good. It built on the franchise without detracting from the franchise. It didn't just do the exact same thing as previous installments in the franchise, which I really, really like, which unfortunately Creed 2 and Creed 3 kind of did. They kind of fell into the trap of sort of just repeating Rocky. There's only so much you can do with boxing, but I feel like Creed, this movie, actually managed to keep it fresh and keep it entertaining while still respecting the original source material. So I'd give it a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10. I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 8 out of 10, giving it a final rating, bet you can't guess what it is, of an 8 out of 10. Then I rewatched Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and I think this is even better than when I originally saw it. I originally saw it when it came out in theaters in 2023. It was very, very good. It was a very entertaining time. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10. I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 9 out of 10. And I'd give it a final rating of 8.5 out of 10. Very, very solid Mission Impossible movie. I greatly enjoyed it. Then I watched Django Unchained. And I have a hot take. I didn't really care for this. I thought it was good. I didn't love it like a lot of people do. I thought it was good. It was fine, even. Maybe not good, but fine. Be ready to wear a bulletproof vest in the comment section. I give this a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10 because it was very well made, technically speaking. I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 5 out of 10, which brings it to a final rating of 6 out of 10. Next up, I watched Warfare, and honestly, my opinions and ratings still stand from my previous video, but this was in my previous video, so I'll just go ahead and tell y'all those scores again. I give it a TCAS of 10 out of 10 because it achieves exactly what it's trying to do, and in a very respectful but also insightful way, and I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 8.5 out of 10, bringing this to a final rating of 9 out of 10. Then I watched Moneyball, and this was a really, really interesting sports film in that it shows very little actual sport. It shows the behind the scenes in a way that at this point in film I probably had been shown before already, but it did so in an interesting way, which made you care about the characters and not completely hate them, despite the fact that by the end of the movie I really, really thought I was going to hate this one character, but didn't end up hating said character. I'd give this a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10. I'd give this an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10 and a final rating of 7.5 out of 10. Then I watched Mission Impossible Fallout, and I'm sure that my rating of this will go up in the future. The more I watch it, the more I'll notice and the more I will enjoy it. But this was quite good. I really enjoyed this. Yet another solid, very, very solid, very good and entertaining Mission Impossible movie. I give it a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10, an entertainment enjoyment rating of 8 out of 10, giving it a final rating of 8 out of 10. Then I watched Terminator Dark Fate. And I'm not gonna lie, this is the closest I've ever come to giving something half a star on Letterboxd. I haven't done it yet, but this was very, very close. The runtime was way too long. It was like 30 minutes too long. Somehow, the runtime simultaneously felt too long and too short, which is such a weird complaint. You would think that means, oh, then it felt like the perfect runtime. It was too long for how garbage they developed the characters. It was too short for how garbage they developed the characters. I feel like we needed an extra 30 to 45 minutes to actually care about these characters, or, some good writing to make us care about the characters more. I really am going to be perfectly honest. One character, and this isn't a spoiler because it's not a big deal, a character dies, and it's supposed to be a sad moment, but I'm going to be perfectly honest. I out loud said, bro, I don't care. I don't care. And in my opinion, that's just failed writing. That's just, you've given me no reason to care about this character that just died. This character dies with some terrible CGI as well. Like, it's not even cool or whatever. It's not even like a hero's death necessarily. It's just really stupid. It's a really, really stupid, I don't want to say really, really bad, because obviously some talented people worked on this movie, but I feel like studio intervention, and that's another thing. Acting in this was shockingly pretty bad, and like the acting felt with one character in particular like they literally used the first take of everything. There's I'm not gonna say who, because I don't want to throw hate a particular person's way, but this one person in the movie, I swear, they used the first take of everything that they did, and I was like, oh, it was painful half the time, because it'd be like a serious moment where the character is like, no, don't do that, or something, and the delivery of the line would literally be, no, don't do that, stop. I don't understand. I do not understand this movie. Also, the CGI was terrible in a lot of spots. I'm done hating on this, okay? TCAS rating of 2 out of 10, just because there was some good CGI and there was some decent fight scenes. Entertainment enjoyment rating of 1 out of 10. I debated giving it a 0. This was a chore to get through. And an hour into the movie, I was legitimately like, okay, do I just log this without a rating on Letterboxd and put did not finish on it? Like, I don't know what to do here. So, 1.5 out of 10 overall rating. Then I watched the Spongebob Squarepants movie. I'd never seen this before, because I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid. This is really good. This is a really good fun time. The comedy holds up very, very well, and it's very entertaining to watch. I really, really enjoyed this. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 7 out of 10, an entertainment enjoyment rating of 9 out of 10, and I give it an overall rating of 8.5 out of 10. This was really great. I really loved it. Then I watched Baywatch, and I'm not gonna lie, this was a very goofy, very stupid time, but it's entertaining. It is, by movie standards, not great. The writing is pretty predictable. A lot of the jokes fall flat, and the CGI looks very bad multiple times. Cinematography, very, very basic. Could have been a lot better, in my opinion. This was entertaining. I don't know what else to say. This is one of those turn your brain off, movies. Back to caveman days type films. It doesn't make you think at all. And it's just fun. It was a fun time. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 3 out of 10, because it was pretty abysmal on that front. But I would give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10, and I'd give it a final rating of 6 out of 10. Then I watched World War Z. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think, well, for one, I didn't realize this was rated PG-13. About 40 minutes in, I was like, wait, why didn't they show that one zombie dying? What? That's within R rating rights, and I looked it up, and this is rated PG-13, and I was like, whoa. They made me care about characters in a zombie movie, and they made me scared of the zombies without needing the R rating, which I thought was pretty cool. I enjoyed this. It made me feel very, very tense the whole time, obviously. It did a good job of that. And it was good. It was a good, fun, family-friendly time for the whole family to enjoy. That's a joke, by the way. Not everybody knows that when I say that, it actually means it's a pretty unfamily-friendly film. I say that about The Revenant all the time. That it's, you know, fun and family-friendly. I'd give World War Z a TCAS rating of 6 out of 10. I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10, giving it a final rating of 7 out of 10. Then I watched Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, and it was pretty good. It was a pretty baller movie experience. I don't want to say too much about it. I have a full-length video review on it if you want to go check that out. It goes more in-depth into my thoughts. You can check that out on the top right-hand of the screen right now. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10, an entertainment enjoyment rating of 8 out of 10, and a final rating of 8 out of 10. Then I watched Mickey 17, and this was worse on a rewatch, I think. It was not bad still. I would like to clarify. It was still a good, you know, fun time. But it did lose some points, mainly in that I noticed more plot holes in the story than I did when we were in theaters watching this, because the last time I saw this was in theaters with Brennan. I noticed the CGI being worse as well, and granted, you know, obviously, that could be the compression on HBO Max, I don't fully know, but the CGI did look a bit worse this go-around than it did before. It could literally not be the compression, it could literally be that I was willing to ignore it in theaters before, and that I don't remember it that well, but I thought that this was a good, you know, solid, all-around fun time that you should probably give a chance if you have HBO Max, and if you're looking for, like, a sci-fi film, or if you like any of Bong Joon-ho's other films, you can definitely feel his style in this film. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10, I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10, giving it a final rating of 7.5 out of 10. Then I rewatched Novocaine, yet another movie that was in theaters earlier this year that I saw and that now I probably won't see for a while. Again, kind of the same exact thing as Mickey 17. This lost some points from not being in theaters, from not being fully absorbed in the story. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 6 out of 10 this go around, just because, yet again, just like with Mickey 17, I noticed more things. I noticed more plot holes. I noticed more things wrong with this, but that's okay. That can be overlooked, because I gave it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7.5 out of 10, bringing this to a final rating of 7 out of 10. Then I rewatched Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, and I'm not going to go over my scores other than that I gave this on this go-around an entertainment enjoyment rating of 10 out of 10, because we saw this in IMAX. We do not have an IMAX theater near us, so we had to drive almost 2 hours to get to an IMAX theater. We watched it. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was a really fun time. I will never forget the theatrical experience. There was a lot to remember from said theatrical experience, but mainly the sound of IMAX is so awesome. And it's wild to me that Dolby, like Dolby, I think it's called Dolby Atmos, sounds better, allegedly. I kind of want to see this in Dolby Atmos now, just to see the sound difference, but it was a really, really good, very immersive time, very fun time, and I highly enjoyed it. Then I rewatched Gladiator 2. This felt like a chore to get through. Second time, felt about 20 minutes too long. I feel bad for the rhino. A TCAS rating of 7 out of 10, entertainment enjoyment rating of 5 out of 10, and a final rating of 6 out of 10. Let's just stinking move on. There's not that much to say about this. Then, for the first time ever, I saw Lilo and Stitch. And to those of you wondering, how is this the first time you've ever seen this? Because I didn't watch that much as a kid. I basically found what I liked and rewatched it into the ground, so much so that I can quote you the entire script of Madagascar 1. I enjoyed this. This is good. This is a fun, family-friendly time. I feel like I need to get that out of my vocabulary, because it does literally mean the inverse of what I've given it. This was an actually family-friendly time. I thought it was good. I like Stitch's character development. I like Lilo's character development. Something that you will see in a minute is lacking a little from the new one. This was good. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's well directed. It's well made. Stitch. I give it a TCAS rating of 8 out of 10, and I give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10. The reason that's not higher is I didn't see this as a kid. It doesn't have nostalgia points for me, so it doesn't get that number boosted by me remembering the childhood watching this movie, which you'll see come up later in just like 2 movies. Final rating 7.5 out of 10. Fun time. Good movie. Not amazing, but good movie. Then I watched the new Lilo and Stitch, and I think my biggest argument about this, and I struggled to articulate how I felt about this film, because I knew I didn't like it as much as the original. I knew it was a fine time, you know, it was a decent theatrical experience. It was a fun time watching it in theaters. I'm glad I saw it in theaters. But I was struggling to articulate how I felt about it until my friend put it into words perfectly. And he said that Stitch lacks a lot of character development in this movie. And I kind of compounded onto that thought by saying it almost feels like on a dime, Stitch switches from pure evil, you know, terrible, to like really, really good all of a sudden, and really helpful, and wants to defend Lilo and whatnot. Which, in the original, he didn't care about Lilo at the start. It feels like he cares about Lilo a whole lot more quickly in this one. And I didn't like that. I wish that they would have eased a bit more into him, you know, warming up to Lilo and liking her. But the character development just felt axed for Stitch. It literally felt like they were like, oh, okay, well, now we need Stitch to be good. So Stitch is going to be good automatically. Do you have a problem with that? I don't know what to say. Take it up with the HR department. But I thought that this was good but not great. I don't think I'll ever rewatch it. I don't think I'll ever get that hour and a half of my life back. This is making it sound like I hated the movie. It was fine. It was fine. It was a TCAS rating of 5 out of 10. It was an entertainment enjoyment rating of 7 out of 10, and it was a final rating of 6 out of 10. Let's just stinking move on. Bullets are already flying in the comment section. And I wrapped up the month with an absolute banger. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. If you haven't seen this movie, then I don't know how to explain how good it is to you. I really struggled to articulate that there. This is a great movie. I realized why, as a kid, I loved this so much. And it's just a great time. I don't want to spoil anything. I want you to go see this movie if you haven't seen this movie. It's fantastic. I loved it. I'd give it a TCAS rating of 7 out of 10. I'd give it an entertainment enjoyment rating of 10 out of 10. And I'd give it a final rating of 9 out of 10. Anyways, guys, that concludes what I watched this month. What did you watch this month? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on my ratings. Should something have been higher? Am I a dumb idiot that needs something thrown at his head? Please don't throw anything at my head. Please don't. Well, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see what I watched last month in April, you can check out that video right over here. If you want to see my Mission Impossible review that I just made about a week ago on The Final Reckoning, you can check that out right here. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all later. Oh, that's a mosquito. Oh, that's a mosquito.